And one of the most important skills that anyone can have in preparedness and really in life is the ability to be flexible and to adapt. Hey, I'm Todd with Ready Your Future, and this is another prepper tip. In preparedness, we always talk about plans, and really you should have plans. That's really where you should start when you first enter into preparedness. A lot of people, they freak out and they realize they need to be prepared, and they go and they read articles and they start looking at bug out bags and all that different kind of stuff and all the other gear that's out there. But really, we should be focused on our plans. But one of the skills that is needed is to realize that those plans can always change. It doesn't matter what is going on. It doesn't matter how good the plan is. You just need to be able to adjust and be flexible. It could be that plan, it just needs to be tweaked. It could be that you throw out that plan completely. And so one of the ways that I was flexible here this week was recording this episode here. I had a completely different topic that I wanted to focus on. I wanted to focus on one of the articles on the 25 top articles that everyone should read in preparedness. But I have a change in my whole situation right now. So I have a family member that is moving into our home, and we care about this family member, but they've had some life changes and some situations. They need to move into our home. Well, the only empty room that we have, or the only room that they would be able to have a bedroom in, is my office if we convert it. So I was, normally I would have done the 25 articles, in my office with, with my screen and my computer and all that kind of stuff. And that's had to be moved out. It's kind of in pieces right now. I really don't even know how I'm going to edit this one, but I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll just set it up just to edit. But the fact is that I don't have my office anymore, and so I'm going to have a little setup. And I've dealt with this before. When another family member moved, it seems like we've always had family members with us at some point, or people living with us. And that's a whole nother topic for another episode, because I think that's going to happen more and more as we go throughout this future that we're in, and everything is so crazy. But anyway, I've had to be flexible. So, just like, hey, adjust and adapt and move forward. I'm even probably going to have this one out a little bit later than normal because of all of that kind of stuff. But it's really easy to get frustrated. I could have gotten frustrated. I could have like, man, this is messing up my plans. I have all these other ideas of things that I want to do, and I really need an office setup. I have lights for my videos and for when I do church, and I have things kind of everywhere that I need them. And now it's going to be like every time I want to do it, I got to set it up and wah, right? I mean, I can complain and everything, or I can be flexible and adjust and just roll with it, because that's an important skill that we really need to have. And one of the things that I think, if we're thinking about this and like, how can I be more flexible? How can I have that skill to adapt more? I think one of those is having experiences. So when you have an experience, well, let's just say you're going into a situation that you've never really you don't have any familiarity with, and it's all new. You're going at it, and you can still be flexible, you can still be adaptive, but you're kind of rolling with the punches. But if you have some experience, like for instance, I mentioned that we've had family members live with us in the past, then you already have something that you can draw from that will help you to be a little bit more flexible. And that goes for even being out in the woods and you're dealing with survival and bushcraft skills and things like that. I remember hearing at one point, it's like one of those things is like having experiences, and like, okay, this isn't exactly the same, but I remember in that other experience I was able to do this, I was able to use this, or I was able to fashion this thing out in the woods. And I think that's important, to be able to have those experiences so that you can carry those in. Part of it is just the personality too. I mean, some people just don't have the personality to be flexible, and it's like, you think about old crotchety men, it's like, no, this is my way and I'm going to do it. But in reality, there's a lot of people. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter what gender you are. It's like there's people that are like, this is my way, and it's the only way that I can do it. And when they're not flexible, when they can't adapt to it, they get sunk. It's like, forget it. It's like they can't move any further. And you don't want that, especially if you're in an emergency situation. You want to be able to keep moving forward. You want to keep making good decisions for you and your family. That's really important. So practice on that ability to be flexible and adapt. And then on top of that, make sure that you have those experiences, that whatever those things might be. Experiences and going out and you're working with gear, you're working with things, you're building fires, you're doing things around the house where you have experiences where you're like, okay, hey, I can draw from that experience. It's not exactly the same, but I can pull from that, and that will help me in this situation that I'm in. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me on this one. Hey, don't forget, if you're interested in the Blackout kit and the Blackout checklist kit, or to build your kit, I go through a checklist of what to do before, during, and after a blackout so that you will be prepared. So if you're interested in that, go for it. It's going to be in the description, and you can sign up for that one. All right, thanks so much. God bless. Have a great one. Peace.